Hi, welcome to today's show. Today is going to be a much more political show in the fact that I was reading the New York Times and saw an article talking about Mississippi really, in a sense, eliminating abortion by saying personhood, life begins at conception, and therefore anything to terminate that would be murder. Now, something like that, abortion is a very touchy topic, and it is one that needs to be discussed. It's one that I do have personal feelings for, that I would rather see children being born and given in adoption if they're not wanted. I don't think any parent should be forced to keep a child they don't want. That's just bad for the parents and bad for the child, which is really bad all around. However, I don't feel it's the government's place or right to ban it outright. I think they basically should give information and give alternatives, but I think it should still be an option. One of the main issues that this will end up causing, not only will it eliminate many forms of contraception, but it also causes the women who have been sexual victims to have to carry the child to term, in which case that's going to cause all kinds of psychological and potentially physical problems that the mother's trying to force a miscarriage or something like that. Another point that really needs to be brought up is that when Roe v. Wade first happened in the US, 17 years later, the crime rate significantly dropped off. The reason for that is children weren't being born that weren't wanted. That's a very blunt way of saying it, but it's the truth. When children are forced to be born, they are usually brought up in a very hostile environment. And what I mean by that is oftentimes they're abused, they aren't given much chance to really thrive. And most parents who have an abortion decide later in life to have a child when they are more ready. And at that point, they are ready and they can bring in a much better, healthier child into society. However, at the same time Roe v. Wade was done in the US, another country, I believe if I remember my history correctly, it was Russia. Could have been Germany, but I'm thinking it was Russia. Basically, not only did they outlaw abortion, but they also started fining women who weren't having children, and they were basically forcing women to get pregnant. And they were trying to increase their their workforce and thus create cheap labor. Again, 17 years after that, the crime rate went through the roof. And it's again, there was children being born to parents who weren't ready, weren't willing, or necessarily wanting to have a child at that point. And this is just one of the many backlashes that Mississippi potentially passing this law would have. Nothing is done yet, but many people in political fields feel that it will pass there. And that's just something that would be bad, regardless of what your personal beliefs are on when life begins and on abortion itself. To flat out completely outlaw it in this regards would have astronomical effects, all of which are very detrimental. And that is something that really should be looked at. I know this video isn't all fun and whatnot, and I'm actually working on another video while I'm doing this one. It's just that when I came across that news article, I knew I had to mention it because this should not pass. It is just unbelievably detrimental for that society. Well, I'm going to go ahead and end this for tonight, but if you have any viewpoints on this and if there's anything you want to say, go ahead, send me an email, dailydate@gmail.com, or just use my YouTube inbox, and we can get a discussion going on this. I might be able to do a follow-up video if I get enough response from it. Please, I know I post these to Facebook, but use my Gmail account or my YouTube inbox. That'd be a better place so I can better organize everything. So from Augusta, Georgia, this is Daily Dave saying have a good day.